Now we're happy now, as we are every week, to be joined by Evan Daniels to get an update on UK's recruiting and what John Calipari and his staff have been up to on the trail. This week, a big game between Trey Lyles and Cliff Alexander. The two guys went head-to-head. So Evan will start off, talk to us about the game between Trey Lyles and Cliff Alexander.
TJ, two top 10 2014 prospects went head-to-head in Indianapolis this weekend. Trey Lyles and Cliff Alexander did battle in, and I thought Trey Lyles really did a good job. Scored 24 points, added 12 rebounds, was 10 of 12 from the field. And what I was impressed with is his feel on the offensive end of the floor. Hit a couple three-pointers, hit a mid-range jump shot off the dribble. Also dropped in a hook. So I thought he's really shown some improvement on that end, and it's clear that he spent a lot of time in the offseason really working on his offensive game, and it's clearly paying off. And with Cliff Alexander, I think the issue was more of his team than him. His guys really struggled to get him the ball in positions that he could be successful. Still ended up with 17 points and played okay, but not the Cliff Alexander we're used to seeing in the summer. And he's a guy that's just so physical and so strong, and still a top 10 prospect, a very good player. But I thought Trey Lyles won this battle, and Kentucky was actually present. John Calipari and assistant Kenny Payne were there for the first half to see the game, and they left after the first half. That apparently was all they need to see. Trey Lyles was 7 of 7 in that half, and he's obviously a guy that Kentucky is really targeting, and I think they're in great shape with.
Now, another player who has become very popular around our office with his YouTube videos, looks a lot like Blake Griffin, is Aaron Gordon. His recruitment has been interesting because UK has been involved for quite a while, but they have a great class that's filled up with some big guys already. How much of a shot do the Cats still have with Aaron Gordon?
TJ, Kentucky already has the nation's top recruiting class, but they're clearly looking to add to that, recruiting a handful of guys. Aaron Gordon is one of those guys. Kentucky is in his top 3. They're competing with Arizona, and they're competing with Washington, and he's still not ready to make a college choice. We thought he may end up making one in the fall period. Decided not to. He's going to wait it out. He's already taken visits to all 3 schools, so I think what he's really trying to do is watch these schools, see how he fits in, and I really just don't think he was ready. I think he's going to be patient with this process. He's going to wait it out, maybe wait till after the high school season. But Kentucky is certainly involved. I do think it may be tough to get him off the West Coast, but Kentucky's involved and certainly heavily still recruiting Aaron Gordon.
Now, this week is a big event for high school players in the state of Kentucky. The King of the Bluegrass will be out there on Thursday night. But when you look at the group of high school players in Kentucky, Derek Willis has already come into UK. But are there any other players over the next several years even that could be realistic targets to play at the University of Kentucky?
TJ, there's really not a lot of local talent that is worthy of playing at Kentucky at this point. The best player in the state, Quentin Snyder's already committed to Louisville. And the only other guy that Kentucky's really recruiting that has Kentucky ties is D'Angelo Russell. He's from Kentucky, plays in Florida at Mount Verde Academy, and they actually recently saw him. He's a teammate of Dakari Johnson, so they're certainly keeping tabs on D'Angelo Russell. But as far as other players out in the state, there's not really many guys that Kentucky's keeping a tab on.
All right, Evan Daniels, Fox Sports, thank you very much for joining us.